One more minute. One more minute. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
How are
sir.
you this morning? Good.
Good morning,
I hope
sir.
that you're still safe and healthy. Okay. Well, I think I have to this morning I have to talk about this one. Still remember that question and this for discussion? Is it in your, can you see that?
Yes.
Question
Yes, we can hear.
question for discussion?
Yes.
Okay. Number 3. Still remember that?
Yes,
In
remember.
tutorial, you still debate. What did I say when in tutorial before leaving this class? I said to you that it is not a must that students of law school study social sciences. It is not a must, but you can do that. You can do that. The question is, should, not can. Please be careful. Or shall. Should means must. Should the NGO and activist demand be taken into account in studying law? Everybody said at a time, yes, right? You said so. Please be careful. It is should. We should not, but we can do that. So anthropology, sociology, and any other social sciences are not mandatory for us. That they are optional courses. You can do that. You know, it's not mandatory. It's not compulsory. They're not compulsory courses. They're only optional courses. You can take or you cannot take. You want to take or you don't want to take. It's okay, no problem. It is not a must. You know, must. If it is a must, that should be taken into account. But since it is not mandatory, so it is not a must to be taken into account. Okay, this is why. If we study everything, if we study social sciences, how long will your study complete? How long is the study at law school? It may be what Alan calls megalomaniac jurisprudence. Now, I'll tell you, if you were judge, for example, in the near future, you will be a judge. and you want to know about the social background of the defendant or the accused, and then you can summon, you can call expert to appear into the court, and then he or she will give testimony on it. Have you ever seen Jessica trial that was broadcast throughout Indonesia?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there are some experts were summoned to appear to the trial. Okay, that's like that. It is not necessary for us to study social sciences, but it can do that. You can do that. You can do. You can study anthropology, sociology, whatever they offered. If you want to do that, you can take the courses at social sciences faculty at physics. Well, but these courses are not mandatory. These courses are optional. Okay, jurisprudence is mandatory or compulsory. Jurisprudence is compulsory. Introduction to Indonesian law is also compulsory. But there are some optional courses offered by Faculty of Law. You know, until I think until 110, I get 120 credit hours. Those courses are compulsory. You know, are the difference between compulsory and optional. Compulsory courses should be taken by law students, but optional may not be taken. Okay. Is it any question concerning the last tutorial session? So this is my answer, that because the question is should, the answer is it is not necessary, but it can be studied. You can take optional courses which are social sciences, but it is not compulsory. Okay. NGO, most of them are not jurists. Most of them are graduate from social sciences faculty. Some of them are graduate from law school, but most of them are graduates from social faculty. Okay. Why? Because graduates of law school, they become professional. Perhaps you will be recruited by Bank Indonesia, for example, or you will be judged or you will be attorney, you will be lawyer. All of them, sorry, yeah, all of the offices, all of the occupations are professional. Okay. Now let's go with other courses. Jurisprudence and social science. Can you see? Can you see this slide?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Prof. we
Yes.
can see it.
Okay. Jurisprudence and social science. Jurisprudence is not social science. There are some differences in many things, at least in three things: jurisprudence and social science. Okay. The characteristic of the discipline. Jurisprudence is a prescriptive science.
What?
You know, prescriptive.
If you don't, Jan.
Okay, I'll tell you. If you go to the doctor, after being diagnosed, and then the doctor, what is it? Xiang.
Sorry, sir, I pressed the wrong button.
Okay. If you go to the doctor and the doctor examine you, and the doctor diagnosed. After being diagnosed, the doctor give you something that you have to go to a pharmacy. What is it? Give you a piece of paper, then please go to the pharmacy. So after being diagnosed, doctor diagnosis, and then after being diagnosed, the doctor gives you a piece of paper, and you are assigned to go to the pharmacy to get medicine.
Doctor
What
prescription,
is
sir.
what is a piece of paper? What do you call it?
Doctor prescription, sir.
Doctor's prescription. Yeah, doctor's prescription. Okay, fine. So what is prescription mean? What is prescription?
Something assigned and given to you based
Something?
on something assigned based on what
Yes.
you need.
Okay. Something designs, something directed to do. So the pharmacist shall do what doctor has prescribed. Okay. So the medicine, for example, that's Diovan for hypertension, Diovan. For example, one day the dosage one day, one pill or one capsule one day. This is prescription. So prescription means direction to do something. Prescriptive science means that this science or this this discipline should prescribe instead of describe. Evaluative. So we deal with good and bad, just and unjust, right, wrong, something like that. Appropriate, inappropriate, for example. It is evaluative. Okay. This is applied. So every students, every law student who is graduate from law school is expected to be able to apply his or her skill. We deal with skill. You have to apply, for example, to resolve a case like in tutorial at a time last week. If there's a case like that, how to solve it, how to settle, how to resolve. This is applied discipline, applied science. Like a doctor should examine the patient, then diagnosis, and then gives solution by giving the patient a prescription. This is the solution. This is applied science. Like engineer builds a building. This is applied science. Applied, not pure science. Is literature applied discipline? Literature, for example, one who is admitted to a faculty of cultural science and now faculty of cultural science is someone who is graduate from faculty of cultural science can apply his or her discipline. No, it is not applied. It is not applied science. Applied science deals with everything that is in practical matter, like accountant. Accountant should do should do audit, financial audit, for example, should make balance. This is applied science. Law is a applied science. Jurisprudence is is an applied science. So after graduate from law school, law students are expected to be professional, to apply your skill. Okay. Any question on that before I go further? No? Can I go further?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. Value loaded. Value loaded. What does it mean? It is not free. Have I given you an example about red district in Surabaya?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah. So there was red district in Surabaya called Dolly. But now it has been removed by Ibu Risma. It was the largest red district in Southeast Asia. One may go there and says, wow, it is a fact that in Surabaya there's a there's a red district which is the largest one in Southeast Asia. This is value free. But the second one says, while it is not good for Surabaya as a city of hero, so he gives evaluation on it. The third one says, while it's good to localize hookers or prostitutes and to increase local income. This is the second and the third persons evaluate the red district. The first one did not evaluate. Okay, it's okay. Wow, this is value loaded. Social science, descriptive, empirical. So only describes. Okay. Well, in Surabaya, there was no longer exist. There was red district, which is the largest one in Southeast Asia. This is description. Water, when it is heated, it will evaporize, right? Water, if it is heated, it will evaporize. This is only description. There's no value in it. Water, if it is heated, it will evaporize. And if it is put in the freezer, it will freeze and becomes ice. This is descriptive science, empirical. So it can be observed and put in the laboratory to be to be well, to be also in experimental device, okay, and value free. This is characteristic of the discipline. So from the characteristic of the discipline, jurisprudence is different in jurisprudence may be differentiated from social science. So it is the indication that law or jurisprudence is not a social science. Jurisprudence is not a social science. Jurisprudence is not a part of social science. Or more clearly, jurisprudence is not a branch of social science. Jurisprudence is not a branch of social science. Now, truth to be sought. Before discussing that, it would be better that I have to tell you about types of truths. So I think it would be better adjective. In the world, there are three types of truth. Pontius Pilate said, "Is there any truth? Quid est veritas?" In Latin, he stated, "Quid est veritas?" What is the truth? You know, veritas is Latin word, and it is adopted by Harvard University. If Erlangga motto is excellent with morality, Harvard University motto is veritas. Veritas. Veritas means truth. Veritas. Quid est veritas. Veritas means truth. Lie. Okay. Correspondent truth. This means there's a correlation between two things. As I've told you before, that if water is heated, it will evaporize. There are two I mean, not to glass. Okay. What do you call it? Muck? But no. Water should be in a pan, for example, in a pan. You know, water. One is water, one is put on the stove, you know, on the stove. One is still in a glass. Water who is put on the stove, because it is heated, it will evaporize. But water which is still in a glass, it nothing's to do. There's nothing happened. So there's a correlation between hot and evaporation, you know, corresponding. It is applicable to social sciences and also natural sciences. The corresponding truth is applicable to social sciences and natural sciences. You know, water is heated, is a physics, right? It's physics. Physics is a part of natural sciences. Physics is a branch of natural sciences. It's corresponding. Coherent is in the lot of ethics. Coherent is in the lot of ethics. So there should be a guidance whether or not an event, coheres the guidance. So there should be a guidance. Coheres. For example, according to Muslims book, the Quran, pork is haram, right? Pork is haram. And noodle with pork is also haram. Okay? This is coherent. Okay. Again, it is obligation for every Muslim to pray 5 times a day. And one doesn't do that. This one, you know, this one doesn't obey the obligation. So his ignorance of doing praying coheres with the sin. Coheres. It is a sin for a Muslim who does not pray 5 times a day, for example. This one ignores praying 5 times a day. It is his ignorance coheres to the law of praying. Okay? This is coherent. Pragmatic is, well, some friends of mine say pragmatic is okay, but to me, pragmatic is not okay, because pragmatic subscribes the utilitarian philosophy. Next time I will tell you about pragmatic, but that now I will tell you about the truth, correspondence, and coherence to make difference between jurisprudence and social sciences. Okay, we go. Coherence truth should be sought by jurisprudence. So we seek coherence truth. For example, someone has done something that harms the society. Okay, someone has done something that harms the society. But what he has done is not classified as criminal act. What he has done is not classified as a criminal act. Can this one be punished? Can this one be punished, be sentenced into jail? No. No. So what someone has done should be examined whether or not that what he has done coheres any provision of criminal law. I don't say penal code, criminal law, because criminal law can be outside the penal code. We have penal code, but we also have a criminal law. I say criminal laws outside the penal code. For example, Act number 31 of 1999 on eradication of corruption act is outside the penal code, but it is a criminal law. Okay, so everybody who has committed something, we have to check whether or not that what he has committed be classified in criminal law. If it is not, so he cannot be sentenced into jail, or he cannot be considered as to have committed criminal act. No. So we have to know if someone steals something like Ibu Asyani. So Article 362 of our penal code states that whoever takes another's property in a manner contrary to the law and with the intent to deem to be his own, he or she will be sentenced to sentence because of larceny, at most or at the most 5 years imprisonment. So if someone steals something and then this one has done something that is classified as criminal act, and what he has done coheres the provision, criminal provision. Social science correspondence truth. As I've given you an example last week about family planning. Still remember that? Still remember family planning?
Yes, Prof.
And two areas, both of them are populated, highly populated, and one is given a rural electrification, then the birth rate decreased. Okay. Another is not given electrification, rural electrification, so the birth rate remains. So this is correspondence truth. Correspondence truth. Okay. Subject matter of study. Subject matter of the study. And I have to go to take water. Sorry, I have to take water. Okay, thank you for waiting. Because it is empty and I have to fill out. Fill out or fill in. You know, fill up and fill in. Fill up. The preposition is very important. So, what about your TOEFL task? Pick up, pick out, look at, look after, look down, look up, Please be careful to bear with. The preposition should be memorized. To file with, concern with and concern about is different. I'm concerned about the coronavirus. This discussion concerning jurisprudence. Okay. Subject matter of the study. Jurisprudence. Legal norms. What about social norms? No, it's not our domain. Legal norms. Please be careful. Legal norms are not legal rules. Because norms may be social norms. Legal rules are not only written rules. Rule of conduct. Okay, legal norms. This is the subject matter of the study. Well, if you study Dutch, subject matter in English in Dutch is object. Object. But object in English is subject matter. It's different. An object van studie, that is Dutch. An object van studie, studeer rechtswetenschap. Well, I'm glad that I can speak Dutch, French, German, and Latin. Also Balinese. I speak Balinese. Latin. Fortunately, at that time, I was taught by priest Romotondo at the time. I was taught to study Latin. And I was given a book, Elementa Lingua Latine. And now I still study that. Study never be complete. Never be complete. Study, I still study. There's no ending for studying. So legal norms. In English, I think really I'm a little bit unhappy with the word norms. But because it is a translation from Dutch word, so I have to say norms. It's okay, from German, I guess. German, and from Latin. In Latin, it's called norma. In Latin, it's called norma. In German, it is called norm. In Dutch, it is also called norm. If you look at the dictionary, norms means standard. Please look at your English dictionary. Norm means standard. You can look at. I really, I'm a little bit unhappy with the word norm, but it is translation from Dutch word. the consistency of legal rules, legal norms, and legal principles, whether or not legal rules cohere legal principles. For example, I ask you now. Sexual intercourse outside marriage is private or public event.
Private.
Sexual intercourse outside marriage is it public or private event?
Private.
Private, sir.
Private. Okay. If our now bill of penal code, there's a provision in it that sexual intercourse outside marriage may be sentenced to 1 year imprisonment. Is it against principle or not? Yes, because it is not a public domain. It is a private domain. Okay. If one loves another and they don't want to get married and they only live together outside marriage, it is their privacy. It is under private domain. It is not public domain. So it is not, it is inappropriate to be considered as criminal act. No. Public domain is not harmed by that. This is legal principle. So provision concerning criminalization of sexual marriage outside intercourse does not cohere legal principle. Such a rule should be eliminated because it is against legal principle. So we have to know the privacy. Everybody has a privacy. You have a privacy. I have a privacy. Sexual intercourse outside marriage is a privacy. It's a it's a private domain. It is not a public domain. So it is not necessarily to be laid down as a criminal act. No. We have to study that. Any question on that?
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, Gabriel.
Sorry. Okay. I have a question about your example about the case. You said that it's a privacy. So how about the people who are going to the Hotel Melati and in that they having a privacy, they are being in Indonesia we say it digrebek, but it's by Pamong Praja police, and how it's will going, it's privacy or it's public?
It's privacy. So you know the Satpol PP is against privacy. it is not, it is against human rights. It is a part of human right. So in the Malachi Hotel, for example, they go there and surrounded and attacked by the what we call city securities, securities. Well, I think the city securities are against the privacy. This is my answer. So it is not necessary to be conducted sweeping like that. It is against privacy. One, if you go to a hotel, your privacy is guaranteed. Whatever you do that. What is there's no harm for the society. The society may not be harmed by that. So this is a privacy. In Malaysia is a Islam is an official religion in Malaysia. But if you go to Genting, you can find some red district there, and also a casino. This is we have to make separation between religion and state. You know that? Well, I went to Genting, but with my colleagues from law school, of course, but we didn't go there. We only sightseeing there. Okay? Why? Like in Padang, a couple who did sexual intercourse outside marriage were caught by the securities. It is against privacy. Indonesia is not a religious state. In Indonesia, I want to ask you now, is it allowed to be atheist in Indonesia?
It's not, sir.
Is it allowed to be an atheist in Indonesia?
It's not.
It's not allowed, sir.
Is it, why?
Because I think, in my opinion, even though personally, let's say if there's an atheist and personally you don't believe in God, but you're still forced to pick a religion.
Okay.
In data,
Okay, I want to ask you, Article 29 of our Constitution says that the state is based on God the Almighty, right?
yes,
Okay, but not individual. Every citizen is free to share what religion. This means to share that he doesn't have religion. That what is now the obstacle of this? Our ID card.
yes.
In
On
our ID
paper.
card, there's a form that religion, and through all the world, there's no religion. Only name and address.
Yes.
And birth date. birth date and date, place of date, place of birth. That's no religion. Religion is not because it becomes discrimination. Like in the United States, for example, there's no discrimination about religion. Okay, religion, everybody can share, even local religion in Indonesia. So, atheist, okay, no problem. It depends on him or her. If he doesn't believe in God, okay. Well, I have ever debated with my friend when when we talk about God. He said to me, is my colleague, with someone who also at my batch at 1969 at the Faculty of Law at Erlangga University. Now he's a faculty member of Surabaya University, my colleague. At that time, he told me, there's no God. Okay, why? Because I cannot see. I cannot see it. So God doesn't exist because he cannot be seen. He cannot be observed. Okay, it is your opinion. I challenge him. No. It is his right. But I asked him, you don't have a brain. Why? Because I cannot see your brain. So there's no brain in your head. There's no brain because I cannot see your brain, and I cannot touch your brain. And now after that, he turned to be a Catholic until now.
Wow.
That's the debate. I respect his idea that he doesn't want to know God. God exists even though you don't recognize him. God exists. So is it good to ask such question? I don't see your brain. I cannot feel your brain. I cannot touch your brain. So you have no brain. If you cannot see something, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. You cannot see coronavirus now. It doesn't mean that corona does not exist. Okay? At the time, I was the first year at law school. At the time when I debated with my friend, I was like you at the first year of law school, and I can develop my opinion. I didn't challenge him. I only listened to him, and then I asked him. Okay. Individual act in relation to law. Excuse me. Lil, aku udah kontak Roni enggak? Jadi udah lah ingatkan juga.
Ya udah, nggak usah bingung.
Ya wis. May I have a clicker? While It's a fortunately my wife doesn't give lecture this moment, so she fried crackers, and I can. But this afternoon she will give lecture to her students. She gives mathematics. Huh?
Now.
Oh,
11:30.
11:30
Quiz.
quiz. She will give quiz, but at
11:30.
11:30. Crackers. Nice. Nice. She will give quiz to her students. She teaches mathematics at Petra Christian University. Faculty of Civil Engineering and Industrial Engineering.
Looks really good, sir.
Good. This is good. Sorry. Jonat?
You make me want to eat, sir.
Jonat? Sorry. Okay. So we have to study individual act in relation to law. Individual act in relation to law. For example, if someone owes money from another, it is provided by law. If you borrow money from someone, what is the obligation for you?
You have to return
You have to
it.
repay, right?
Yeah.
To repay. So it is what we call, what I see is a legal relationship. So legal relationship means that someone that relation that is provided by law. That is legal relationship. If it is not provided by law, for example, you have a girlfriend or you have a boyfriend, it is a romance. It is not legal relationship. It is not provided by law. You eat, it is not provided by law. But if you eat in a restaurant, well, it is provided by law because you have to pay. You may not be paid, you may not pay, but the security will knock you. If you eat in a restaurant and you don't pay, perhaps the security will catch you and knock you. Seal, and then borrow money or something like that. Marriage is a legal relation. Marriage is a legal relation. Whatever the religion is, it is a legal relation. So individual act in relation to law, it is the subject matter of our study. If individual act does not relate to law, it is beyond our study. For example, if you love someone and then you only make him or her as a boy, girl, a boyfriend or girlfriends, there's no law. There's no law concerning the relation. Okay. But about what you have to eat, well, it is not provided by law, except if you are Muslim or you are Jews, there are some foods are not allowed to eat. Okay, like pork. In Israel, the Jews have many more foods are considered not kosher. You know, kosher is halal, including catfish. You know catfish? Catfish?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, catfish is not halal in Israel. Yeah. Shrimps, lobster, crabs, squid. They are not kosher. Crabs. Is crab kosher, halal? For you who are Muslims?
What? Sorry.
Crab?
I think it's debatable.
I think it depends on which school you follow.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
But
Agreed.
there is my colleague, Professor Zaidun, the former dean, likes crabs very much. He's a devout Muslim. But pork is not allowed. What about frog? Frog.
I think it's okay.
Sarang.
Frog is not allowed either. In Israel, many foods are considered not kosher, including catfish. Okay, you can't find crab or shrimp, lobster in Israel. Is lobster halal?
Yes.
For you?
Yes.
Yes.
Very halal.
Yes.
Halal.
Nice. Halal. But in Israel, it's not kosher, not halal. Subject matter of study of the social science, individual or group behavior in institutional life. This is anthropology, for example. It studies about individual behavior according to culture where he or she resides. Sorry. Please be careful. Act is done intentionally or conduct. Act or conduct. Behavior is done instinctively So in law, there's no term criminal behavior. No. We call it criminal act. There's no unlawful behavior. No. Unlawful act. Article 1365 of our civil code deals with unlawful act, which is in Dutch called onrechtmatig. Onrechtmatig, that's a Dutch word. You know, G in Dutch, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G. Onrechtmatig is translated into unlawful act in English. My colleagues from University of Indonesia translate onrechtmatig into tort. No, it is mistranslation, because tort is different from unlawful act. I'll tell you later, not today, but I want to tell you that act is different from behavior. Act is different from behavior. So we have to do with act instead of behavior. Social sciences deal with behavior. Okay. Let's go on. Now we have to make difference between sociological jurisprudence and sociology of law. Sometimes they cannot make difference. Sometimes they don't know what's the difference between sociological jurisprudence and sociology of law. So it is important, it is significant to your understanding, because it is different subject matter, and well, it is far different. You know, in jurisprudence, there are many schools, but I don't teach you the schools of jurisprudence in this semester. If you study philosophy of law, I will teach you schools of jurisprudence, but not this semester, because it is too difficult for you to understand or to memorize or to learn it. Schools of jurisprudence, sometimes they call it jurisprudence. Sorry. Sometimes they call jurisprudence a philosophy of law. So schools of jurisprudence are under the realm of philosophy of law instead of the introduction to jurisprudence. It is only an introduction. Okay. Sociological jurisprudence is one of schools of jurisprudence founded by Raskupan. Raskupan is the founder of sociological jurisprudence. Sometimes sociological jurisprudence is also called functional jurisprudence. It is written by Josh White Crossparent in his book, A Textbook of Jurisprudence. sociological jurisprudence deals with decision-making process that consider social factors. Well, back to question number 3 that was debatable by you last week in the first tutorial, that it seems that studying law should consider what NGO and activists demanded. This means that in your mind at that time, I can understand that studying law should also studying social factors, social sciences. No, not really. It is about decision-making process. For example, to make a statute, to make a law, legislation, for example. Who makes a law? Who makes a law? There are 3 branches of government, 3 branches of government: executive branch, legislative agency, and judicial agency. Who is charged with making law? Which one of the 3 branches of the government? Executive, legislative, or judicial? Which one?
Legislative.
Legislative. You know, what is legislative? What is legislative in a state? Or what? Sorry? No. What does legislative agency consist of? What is legislative in a state, in every state in the world? What is legislative agency? Is it the parliament, right? Legislative agency is a parliament. What is parliament? Sorry. What is parliament? Anyone answers? What is parliament? What is parliament? What is parliament? Is an agency consists of political parties representatives. This is the House of Representatives. Parliament is the House of Representatives. It is a representative agency. And the members of the parliament are elected through general election. They are representatives of political parties. They are You know, they are representatives of political parties. The parliament. When parliament makes law, it acts as a legislative agency. So, who makes a law? Political parties, not lawyer. Political parties. Parliament is a representative body consisting of political parties representatives who were elected by people through general election. So they are politicians. They are politicians. In the world, throughout the world, parliament is a political agency. Legislative is also political agency. But in its case, it should make law. You know, every member of the House of Representatives hires legal advisor, of course, to consult with. That the academic draft of law, academic draft of bill is not made by the politician. Academic draft of the bill is prepared by academician, law academician. It is my experience that I have prepared academic draft on fund transfer bill, and now it becomes law, fund transfer law. I was hired by Bank Indonesia to prepare academic draft. Of course, after being prepared, after being drafted, and then the draft was submitted to the concerning agency or department or ministry, and then submitted to the House of Representatives to be deliberated.
Prof, I have a question.
Sorry, louder,
I
please.
have a question. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Please.
What about Congress then?
Congress in the United States, it's different. In the United States is Congress. Congress in the United States consists of the House of Representatives and Senate. And Congress issues the law in the United States. The president has no power to legislate. That the draft or the bill may come from either the House of Representatives or Senate, and then the bill is deliberated and jointly approved by the Senate and the House of Representatives, and then enacted as law. This is in the United States. Only in the United States. In the Netherlands, there are two chambers which are called, the first is the Kamer, the second is Tweede Kamer. The first chamber consists of the House of Representatives, like the House of Representatives, consists of politicians who are elected through general election, and the Tweede Kamer, the second chamber or upper chamber, is consists of, I think, many representatives appointed by queen or king, I guess. And law is made by these two chambers, lower chamber and upper chamber is the Kamer. So also in many sorry, in not England, but I think in, well, England and yeah, in Britain, including Scotland, there are also two chambers, lower chamber which is House of Representatives, and the second chamber or upper chamber, what is called House of Lords. So, okay, MPR, people consultative assembly is not the same as Senate in the United States, because MPR is not entitled to make law except laws that deals with with local contents. That's okay. This is Congress in the United States. Well, when we prepare academic draft of a bill, then we have to consider social factors. Well, as a drafter of a bill of fund transfer law at a time, I only invited accountant to give advice, but there's no other factors. And when deciding the case in a court, the judge may consider social factors by inviting some expert to give testimony, to give explanation, not the judge himself or herself to study social sciences. Okay? So the answer is, it is not necessary for us, for law students, to study social sciences. But you can do that. It is not prohibited. Today you can do that. Perhaps you can go to social sciences school to study anthropology or sociology there. Now, sociology is a branch of sociology. Sociology of law is a branch of sociology that perceives law as a social phenomenon founded by Eugen Ehrlich. Eugen Ehrlich is the founder of sociology of law. He is Austrian. His name is German. Yes, Austrian speaks German. like Mozart, for example. Mozart is an Austrian. Beethoven is also Austrian. Johann Strauss is Austrian too. But Goethe is German. So musicians are from Austrian. Do you know the well-known composition of Johann Strauss? Du Danube. Du Danube. I like classical music. Okay. The slide is jurisprudence and other social studies subject matter of study is law. Okay. Jurisprudence perceives law from two aspects, as value system and as social rules. So value system, for example, in good faith, bad faith, just, unjust, just, unjust. But justice, injustice, be careful. Just, unjust. Justice, injustice. Why is it like that? I don't know. As Queen Elizabeth. As value system and as social rules, a starting point of studying law is to get in form of intrinsic condition of the legal rules. What is it? Your banknote. Well, I don't have banknotes. You have banknotes. Little banknote, little money. Oh no, no! It. Please give me money. I want to give an example. Do it. It's not money. It is only money. Whatever. Okay. This is a banknote. What is nominal value?
50,000.
What is nominal
50.
value of this?
50,000.
50 grand.
$50,000. No, rupiah. 50,000 rupiah. It is nominal value of this banknote is 50,000 rupiah. But what is the intrinsic value? You know, it is a paper. It is paper, a sheet of paper. The intrinsic value of this banknote is lower, much lower than the nominal value, of course. So the real value, it means intrinsic is the real condition. Okay. Well, it's for me. It's for me.
Yes.
It's from.
Yes.
Well, I've just drawn money. I withdrawn money from ATM, but not with this this shirts. So it differentiates, I mean that the intrinsic condition of the legal rules differentiates jurisprudence from other discipline subject matter of Their study is law. The other disciplines perceive law from the outside, whether law is effective or not. It is not the study of law. To study effectiveness of law is not our study. Our study is whether the law consists of justice or not. So we have to perceive law not only a social phenomenon, but also cultural phenomenon. It's a culture. Social study on law considers law as social phenomenon. We study law as a cultural phenomenon. There are many values. There are many values inside. Okay. I have to terminate this session. And if you have any question, please, ask me on Wednesday. Okay? On Wednesday, if you want to have any question on that, please ask me on Wednesday. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I see you again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
See you again on Wednesday.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Nice. Have a nice day,
You too.
everybody.